regular session of Nogales Housing Authority's Board of Commissioners meeting, 5 p.m., Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. Call this meeting to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Bonilla, do us the honor.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Albert, no call to the public? Thank you, sir. We have a new scheme. Okay. We need a motion to approve the last minutes. A motion? Do we have the?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
October?
A second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mr. Vice Commissioner.
Yes, as I was reading the minutes and I noticed that, I don't know who prepares the agenda, but for the commissioners meeting, we're title is commissioners and chairperson, and I noticed that the minutes show the mayor and council.
Yes,
May I?
good point.
May I?
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I prepare the agenda, and the minutes are prepared by Mr. Carriaga. And we went back and forth a few times, and I did ask him to change it, but they weren't changed.
Thank you. Any other changes or? Go ahead, Commissioner.
thank you. I just have a quick question to the attorney. Mr. Estes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's going to be an easy question. On the approval of the minutes, is that going to be a practice from now on? I noticed that it wasn't in the past since I've been a commissioner on the board.
It should be. The way the state statute reads is that all meetings are required to either have written minutes or a recording. The issue with just doing a recording is that there's certain information that's required to be in the minutes or recording, which includes time, date, and location of the meeting, presence of council members, and the action items and how each council member voted. So for example, with a recording only, the council right now doesn't, the commissioners, it also applies to the council meeting as well, but commissioners you're not doing roll call. So there's nothing in the recording today that would show who's present or who's not present. Mr. Doyle's not present. So that's the issue with just doing a recording. So the common practice throughout the state is that you have both minutes and a recording, whether it's a video, audio, because most meetings nowadays are broadcast via Facebook or many different methods so that people can watch remotely. So that is the preferred and recognized method throughout the state, is that you would have both minutes, which provide those details that are required by statute, which again, for example, for a recording, the chairman of the commission would be required to state, at the beginning, this is a meeting of the Housing Authority of the City of Nogales on November 5th at 5 p.m. at this address. Do a roll call so that the recording provides for who's present. And then with every action item, anytime there's a vote, you would need to do a roll call voice vote so that the recording would have in it everyone and how you voted. Whereas that's normally in minutes, that's identified as in the minutes, so you don't have to do it that way. So there's a couple different options, but The recognized and preferred method throughout the state is that you do both minutes and recording. And then when you do minutes, then those are always brought back at the next regular meeting for review and approval like you're seeing on the agenda today.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I don't know if the city, the regular city meeting is, we don't take any written minutes, but as far as the housing authority, way back then, we used to be required to take minutes because sometimes HUD will come down to the housing authority and do a review, and they'll ask you for the minutes and the meetings that have taken place during the fiscal year, and also for the audit. The auditors sometimes will require to see the minutes. I don't know if they're still requesting minutes, either recorded minutes or written minutes.
So yeah, you're correct. The minutes have always been done for the housing department, and we have a file of every year back since I think 2017, and with the minutes every meeting. And I did share one with Mr. Cariaga from back I think 2 years ago. And one thing I did notice on this one, if I may, it doesn't say how people voted, how the commissioners voted. It just says approved. And the minutes really have to say who voted and which way. But yeah, they are asked by the auditors. And I think we were dinged because the minutes, a couple of the months were said meetings instead of minutes. So they're particular with what they expect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think it's, you could say almost, because this is the first time, since I've been at the commission that we do have approval of minutes. And so, it's like legal said, it's a good practice, and I think we should continue it and look at going forward. All right, thank you. So I had a first and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Item number 5, Director's report, financial report. Ms. Armendariz, go ahead.
Good evening, and thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and commitment to the families we serve. I'm going to start with, I gave you all a folder with some information, and the first piece of paper I have there is titled NHA Report, October 2025. And basically, I divided it with public housing at the beginning. So in public housing, we have 98% occupancy rate right now. Ideally, it's always 100%. You always want to reach 100%, but HUD's target is 98, so we're on par with the occupancy rate right now. We have a waiting list. For 1 bedrooms, we have 175 applicants. 2 bedrooms, we have 108 applicants. 3 bedrooms, 56 applicants, and 4 bedrooms, 2 applicants. The waiting list for the 1 and the 2 bedrooms have been closed. Now in December, I think we're going to do it November 15th for a month. We're going to purge all the waiting list, which means basically we send everybody on the waiting list a letter asking them if they're still interested. They have to come in and let us know if they're interested or not. And if they don't show up within that month, we remove them from the waiting list. So usually it's done the 1st of December till the 30th, but since the holidays come in play, I just thought it's better to do it 2 weeks before and finish it before the holidays even begin. So we'll be doing that. And then once we realize how many people we do have on the waiting list, we'll either open it again at the start of the new year or leave it closed. Right now, we have such a huge waiting list that some of those people will never get a house because when people come in with a higher demand, they get placed at the top, and then all the people in the middle, they just have no luck finding a home.
Judy,
Go ahead, Commissioner.
you said you gave them a month, 30 days
We do.
to put, isn't the rule 5 days to respond to that letter?
From my understanding, it is a month, and I read the information, and it's a month. I don't know if it has been changed, but it's a month right now
Okay.
that we give them. Because by the time they receive the letter, and we give them that extra time, 3 weeks, to come in and schedule a time or let us know.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Derek. Go ahead.
And the public housing waiting list. So we have basically 7 available units right now. And she's had 11 interviews. From those 7 interviews, from those 11, 7 people came in. 4 of them did not come in, and 1 was not interested anymore. So we have 8 applicants pending eligibility for those units that we have available. And basically how we work that is, so the eligibility, we wait for them. We're waiting for background check from the federal government or documents that they have to bring in. So all these families, these 8 families that are waiting pending eligibility, the first 4 to come in and finish their file are the ones that get their house. Another thing to consider is sometimes they need a 2-bedroom and there are no 2 bedrooms available. So then they're ready, but they don't get a home because we don't have the home for them available. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So that's for public housing. Then we have the second program is Section 8. In case you're not familiar with public housing, we have public housing, and those are the homes that we have that we own. And then we have Section 8, and those are vouchers that we give the applicant, and they go find an apartment. So we pay the rent for the apartment and utilities. Those are the Section 8. So in Section 8, we have 202 vouchers. Out of those 202 vouchers, we have 92% occupancy, and the HUD goal is 98%. So we're below the HUD target. So out of those 202 vouchers, we have 163 out already. We have 7 available and 7 out, which out means those people are out there looking for apartments. So they have their voucher in their hand. They just haven't found the right apartment that they want to rent. Yes. And then we have a different program. It's called the project-based vouchers, and those are the Bowman Center. Those we have 20. We have 1 eligible, and that referral has already been sent. So we're just waiting for her to come back and sign her lease and stuff. So she's ready to go. So that'll be 20 right there. We have 5 stability vouchers, and the stability vouchers were kind of interesting because there are vouchers, but we could only house those if they're referred through Mariposa. Yes. So what we do is there's a coalition that Mariposa put together, and we're part of that. And they get together once a month, and they look at everybody who has been referred through all the different agencies in Nogales, and they see who has the highest need for the vouchers we have. So right now we only have 1 available, and the next meeting for the coalition will be in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, we will determine who gets that 1 voucher. And then last but not least, we have 15 emergency housing vouchers, and 10 are only leased. So these vouchers, they're based on emergencies, and they're not renewable. So we only have 10. Those 5, they're gone. So once somebody does not have that emergency, out of these 10 people that have these vouchers leased, once those people don't have that emergency, they'll lose it, and they have to either go into a different program or into the public housing or on their own. And we don't get those vouchers back. Those are just for emergencies that the government gave us. Those were done for COVID and on. They're not renewable. Mr.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
On those emergency vouchers, can a tenant apply for regular Section 8, for a housing choice voucher while they're in the emergency?
They can if they feel they're going to start losing the emergency status.
What I mean is, once the emergency's gone, how long does this emergency voucher last? Like a year and a half? Or as
Well,
long as they have the emergency, right? So once they lose the emergency, they'll have to go apply for a regular housing choice voucher, right?
right. Or the public housing.
Can they apply before that voucher expires, that emergency voucher expires?
Right, because technically it doesn't expire. You just lose the status once you don't have the emergency.
But even though you don't know if it's gonna be, he's gonna be there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, can they still apply for the regular housing choice voucher? That means, once they get into that home, the housing choice voucher, they don't have to wait for something for the emergency to end.
Right.
They can stay there as long as they want.
They can, and yeah, that's a good point. They can. And also, we should be worried because you never know. HUD could just come and say, the emergency vouchers will end in a year, no more. And have to tell them that we don't have a housing for them anymore.
And I have another question. You said that you have 92% occupancy, and HUD's requiring 97, right?
98.
98, I'm sorry. And, but that's not the housing authority's fault. There's no apartments available, right?
There are apartments, Mr. Bojorquez. What happens is we just haven't been able to catch up with the housing vouchers. So what the program had been doing is if they have 7 vouchers available, they'll send 7 letters. So then some of those are not going to qualify, or they're not going to find an apartment or what have you. So if 3 of them don't qualify, we never sent any more letters, so we have to start all over again. So what I did is we had 7, and I told her to send 3 times the amount of letters to people to come in for interviews. So from those, she sent 21 letters for 7 apartments. Like 13 people didn't come in.
So is that where the 5-day limit comes in? When, if they don't show up in 5 days, then you take them out of the waiting list?
Well, I don't know. What we do is, I don't know the 5 days, but what we do with the waiting list is we give them the first notice. And if they didn't come in for that meeting, we send them a second notice to come in for a second meeting. If they come in for that meeting, todo bien. If they don't come in for that second meeting, then they're off the waiting list. We give them 2 chances. Maybe they've changed the 5-day rule.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Questions on, and the waiting list for Section 8 is 247 applicants right now, and it's also closed. And once again, we'll purge on November 15th for both programs.
Question on both, we got to be at 98 or better, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
That's the target.
You think we'll jump on from the 92 to 98, son?
Yes,
Thank you.
we will.
Just don't tell that, but it'll be 9 because, you got a lot of applicants. I don't wanna
Exactly,
hear that.
exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead.
That's all I have for the director's report. If there's any further questions.
Go ahead, Commissioner Montero.
Just quickly, Mrs. Armendariz, so this is the state of the housing situation in Santa Cruz County, if you will, Nogales. So it's so many people out there looking for homes, places to live, and it's sad. But then again, you have people that are offered opportunities to go and interview or do whatever process there is in place that you talked about a few minutes ago, and yet they miss their opportunity to get a place. So, you try to reach that 98% and you're actually asking people to come for an interview. You have that window, if you will, open, and they don't come and interview. So, kind of interesting. I mean, the people are living with parents, people are living with kids are living with grandparents, so forth and so forth. But yet they miss this opportunity to interview. Just caught my attention.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, it's for both public housing and Section 8 that they don't come for interviews. Yeah.
Go ahead, Commissioner Bonilla.
When I was doing the research for Cody, Judith, we found out that City of Tucson and Housing has a program with Access, which I'll forward you the email on that program. So what they do, they streamline any applicant that has people with special needs, mental health, and all that. So they're streamlined to the front of the line. The problem that we have here is, well, we haven't implemented that here in housing, but we don't have the space, to even if we would want to create this reserve for families that have that type of need. But I will forward you that program from Access that City of Tucson is working with them. So, but it is catered for people with special needs, especially in the mental health field. So, let's see what we can do. I mean, I don't really see any space, but it's still nice for us to have that when we do have the space. It'd be nice because there's been some emergencies that we had to refer out to Tucson, and it would have been nice to keep them here in the city of Nogales.
Go ahead.
Actually, we talked about the point system, and this is for public housing. So point system is based on the needs of people. If you're local, you get a point. I haven't memorized exactly how many points for each area, but if you're local, you get some points. If you're veteran, you get some points. If you're disabled, you get some points. So if you do have the disability, you almost do go on top of the line. If you're elderly, you go to the top of the line. So that's why I was saying those people in the middle that are just, they'll never get it because people come in with disabilities, with their elderly, with veterans, and we put them on top. So all these people down here won't make it.
Qualified. One question, on the housing, is there are just, if I'm on top of the list on the Section 8, I just go look for an apartment. They don't have to be pre-approved by the housing department or anything?
So the apartments, Section 8 works a little differently. If the owner wants to rent the apartments to Section 8, they have to come in and do a little training through us and fill out an application. And then they rent to Section 8. That's how they work. So you can't just go to any apartment. They have to rent it to Section 8. So they have to have the training and they have to have the application. And later on, I'll show you the payment standards that those tenants have to, those landlords have to abide by.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They have to go through an inspection also.
They have to go to an yearly inspection, exactly. That's part of the training that we give them.
Thank you. Go ahead. That's it?
The director's report, yes.
Where are you gonna?
I have a comment on Mr. Bonilla's, Commissioner Bonilla's question. I think the biggest problem we have is on the one bedrooms, right?
Yes.
Because that's where all the seniors and the elderly and the handicap and all those people apply for. It's the 2 and the 3 bedrooms. They're not that hard to get, but it's a 1 bedroom. That's why the waiting list is so long on the 1 bedroom in public housing and in Section 8, because it's very hard to find 1 bedroom apartments. So unless it's like the Bowman Senior Center or the ones over by the high school, that they do have one bedrooms. But other than that, it's very hard to find a one bedroom, and that's why the waiting list just keeps growing and growing.
From my understanding, Mr. Bojorquez, that public housing waiting list for one bedroom is 175, and the two bedroom is 108, so it is a lot. But for the Section 8, we don't assign them how many bedrooms they're going to have. It's how much they need, and then they're going to be paying different amounts. So if they have two children and they want to get a 3-bedroom and they can't afford it, then they're going to have to get a 2-bedroom. Whereas in public housing, we have rules that if there's 2 children and they're different genders, they have to be in different bedrooms. We have to put them in a 3-bedroom. So there's rules for the public housing that are different with Section 8.
The rules for the Section 8 are very lenient, like
Right.
you can use not the family room, you can have one bedroom and use the living room as a bedroom also.
Yeah, if that's what they could afford, they'll rent that, and HUD doesn't tell you anything about that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your report. Anything else?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Ms. Armendariz, the emergency housing vouchers, do they have to pay something out of pocket as well?
So the emergency housing vouchers, good question. I don't think so, but I'll double check for you.
Thank you. We move to item number 6, housing resolution. Number 1, consideration possible action of housing resolution R 2025-11-008, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Housing Authorities of the City of Nogales approving the HUD fair market rent, FMR, and payment standards for calendar year 2026 for Santa Cruz County, Arizona, for all bedroom sizes. Go ahead, Commissioner or Director.
So in your folder, I created a little flyer that says Nogales Housing Authority payment standards. It just goes over what payment standards mean and what it is for your information. And I'll create a little PowerPoint that I can go through with you guys. So so if you notice on your agenda, you're going to see at the end, there is explanations that you probably won't read and you don't need to. I'll go over it. And then after those, you have 2 forms, the last 2 pages. One says payment standards and fair market rents. And the last one is public housing flat rents with the same information. So basically, these 2 papers tell us what we're going to charge the tenants. So the fair market rent is given to us by HUD. So what HUD does, it calculates estimates of rent for modest units in local markets, all through the entire United States. So HUD gets every single county, and based on our county's rent, will give us the fair market rents, which are on the bottom. So in Santa Cruz, you're going to have, this is going to be very different than what we do in Tucson, than what we do in Sahuarita. They're based by the county. And the documents just gives you a little bit more explanation. So what also fair market rents does, it sets caps for the Section 8 housing vouchers. So what can the landlords charge is here too. And the Section 8 is the last one. Is the second to the last. For Nogales, based on Santa Cruz County data, 1 bedroom is $860 and a 2-bedroom is $1,129.
That's the fair market
Yes,
For the county.
for
for the county. And what are the payment standards? So that was a fair market. The payment standards is the maximum subsidy, the amount that the Public Housing Authority pays for a unit. So what we calculate is the families pay up to 30% of their income, and the city covers up to the standard. HUD requires payment standards between the 90% and the 110% of the fair market rent. So it's our duty to decide, are we going to go to the 90%, to the 100%, and the 110%? And that's why we're here today for the resolution. So basically the payment standards, it supports anti-poverty goals. It helps families find housing without overpaying. So landlord can't say, oh, I'm going to charge you $5,000 just because there are no homes. This helps families find homes and apartments. Why do we update the payment standards annually? So HUD mandates to keep subsidies fair. Subsidies are what we get for the public housing. Compliant and responsive to rent changes. It benefits to the residents. It's more housing choices, reduced resident burden. Because remember, they pay up to 30% of the income for the housing. And that's general with anybody, like in your own home, 30% of your income usually is for the mortgage for expenses. Benefits to the city, it stabilizes the neighborhoods, reduces homelessness, and boosts the local economy by giving money to the tenants. If not updated, we risk losing HUD funds or underhousing the families. So how the 90 through 110 range works. If we go to the 90%, it's cost saving. The 110% are more housing options. What we do is I'm recommending the 100% because it balances the budget and there is housing access. If we go up to the 110, it allows the families to go out to homes that are more expensive, but we have to pay the difference. So HUD is not going to give us more money because we are at the 110%. We have to come up with a difference. It's helpful to the families because there'll be wider apartments for them to rent. And if we go to 90%, that means there aren't a lot of apartments that the families can have because the landlords are not going to rent it for 90% less than they should. 10% less than they should.
So if we went to 110%, where in theory would we even get the money?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have some reserve, but we might need to use it now. We don't know. We don't have a year of reserve, basically. I talked about the scenario 90%, which saves the budget, stretches the tax dollars. It, however, it limits the housing options and it slows down leasing for families per year. So, it's good for fiscal caution, but should monitor resident impacts. And we need to look at the residents more so than the budget at this point. And the scenario number 2 is the 110%, which gives access to tenants looking for apartments, we'll say in Monte Carlo and Vicecielo if there were some, because those apartments would usually be more expensive. But then we would have to pay more money for them. So the balanced approach in my recommendation was the middle ground, which is 100%. It houses more families without overspending, being out of our budget. So my proposal is 100% affordable, compliant, and effective. The long-term benefit would be the safer neighborhoods and federal compliance. And that's, at the end of the day, we need the federal compliance and we need the families in Nogales to be safe and happy.
I got a question.
Yes.
On the, it just based on the rent, right? If there's an apartment that includes utilities and there's an apartment that doesn't include utilities, do you have to look at the numbers and say, okay, without the utilities it'd be this much, and with the utilities it'd be that much? And
so the payment standards include utilities. So if the apartment doesn't include utilities, we have to add them and we're still not going to pass the payment standard. If they're already included, then the apartment rent will be a little higher, up to this amount. So we also pay for the utilities, except the phone.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yes, before we continue getting involved in discussion, we never moved, and we didn't make a motion or second, and we're discussing the item right now, so can I,
Either way is fine. You can, or you can.
Go ahead.
Continue.
And actually, my suggestion is always do the presentation and discussion first, because that may impact the motion.
So thank you. Together, let's make Nogales a place where everyone has stable housing. Any questions? Any more questions that I can help you with to understand payment standards a little better?
And,
That's all for me.
okay, with that said, do I have a motion on the housing resolution?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve Housing Resolution R 2025-11-008 with a modification, because the actual resolution doesn't have the heading, you know, it has it on the agenda, but in the actual resolution, it doesn't, it just goes to the whereas and thereto and all that, doesn't specify the resolution. So you need to add, before we approve the resolution, we need to add a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Housing Authority of the City of Nogales approving the HUD Fair Market Rents, FMR, payment standards for calendar year 2026 for Santa Cruz County, Arizona, for all bedroom sizes, to be included in the resolution.
Would you want to increase, also mention on the percent to approve it at 100%, like it was suggested by the director?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the resolution as presented with that amendment to the resolution
Of 100%.
of 100% and the heading of the resolution.
Okay. Do we have a second?
No, it's included in the resolution, right?
Yeah. Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Future agenda items? Anybody? Director? Any future agenda items?
Thank you.
No? Okay. I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.